Good afternoon, everybody. I am probably gonna still be at the hospital or perhaps coming home from the hospital when you watch this. No matter where I am, the person typing in chat, that's gonna be me, right? It's not AI, it's not a robot, it's me. I still believe that technology is fantastic, such as the technology I'm using to communicate with you remotely and on delay. I think it's amazing. But I still think that the human touch in certain situations is still more valid than anything technology can generate. Without further ado, I hope everyone is in the chat typing and paying attention. I have noticed that some people, whenever we have a class like this, they use it as an opportunity to do something else or to not participate in class. And that's not cool at all, because it takes very little for you to type in the chat. It is not that difficult at all. All you need to do is I ask a question, you type it in chat. Oh, but such and such has typed before me. It doesn't matter. You still have to type in chat so that I can see your name, whatever username you're going to be under at that time, and then I'll be able to know who participated and who didn't. Type in chat. And people may think that I don't look at this stuff, but I actually do. I go back and rewatch the whole thing, and I look at the chat. I save a chat log, and I see, for example, that Ule Peter has only typed hello and one answer, and then until the end of the class, Ule Peter was nowhere to be found. Not good. So please participate. Please take the classes seriously. Okay? After we're finished with this, I have already clipped something for you to do, and it's on my channel. If you go here, Pollyanna Nielsen, it's youtube.com, Pollyanna Nielsen, just written in one thing. You go past all of this, and it's right here under videos. It says Video Project 5. You're gonna read this, read instructions, listen to the lady. I clipped this off of a different protocol from a different channel, but I made this specifically for you. There is one written activity. You're gonna listen and then write. Make sure that you actually listen and write, and use the time that's allotted to you. And then you're gonna use a paper and pen. You're not gonna use ChatGPT. You're not gonna use Copilot. You're not gonna use any platform. You're gonna write yourself. You're gonna take a pencil or pen. I don't know if you're right-handed or left-handed. You're going to write on a piece of paper or on your notebook. Take a picture. Upload that picture to Uppgavet and send it to me. If you choose to use ChatGPT, AI, or Copilot and copy off of what's written with your handwriting, I'm still going to know that that's what you did. And unfortunately for whoever does this, and also for the teachers and management that are on the panel that looks at this stuff, I'm going to have to submit your work to the panel, and it's not going to be good for anybody. So just do the work yourself. A lot of you all were flagged in the last written activities from the midterms, but some of you were flagged so much that I had to submit to the panel. Some of you were still flagged, so it's not like we didn't notice that AI or ChatGPT may have been used. It's that we legally cannot prove unless we do a forensics analysis on your computers and all devices. But just so you know, the best colleges, universities, and high schools in the world are going back to pen and paper. So this activity is going to be done in pen and paper. But that's after we're finished with this. After we're finished with this, you go to this link. It's on my channel. Very easy to find. Very easy to find. Here's the channel. It's right here under videos. It's the very first video under here. It's a very short video. Short even to your standards, because usually when I say short, I mean like 15, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even half hour. Even a half hour is short for my standards, but this is even shorter. It's not even 3 minutes. So please do your best. Don't use any platforms. Use what you know so that you can get a grade based on what you know. And I don't mind if I'm hated for this at all. I'm doing this for your own good because I want you to do well in life. And just like I said, the best colleges, universities, and high schools in the world are no longer accepting work that's 100% done on the computer. So I understand that a lot of people use the premise of, oh, Pollyanna, the whole world is using ChatGPT and AI. Okay, great. But are we using it responsibly? We all use it for different things. I love it for research. I love that I can just say to you kids, go ahead and find information about the Constitution of the United States, that you can within seconds find a lot of information because you have AI, because you have ChatGPT, because you have Copilot. I love that. I love that you can look up anything and then study that information and talk about it. I want you to be able to know how to talk about the different subjects, right? So without further ado, let's get started. You may not be able to see what I just put on the screen, but it doesn't matter because it is also under uppgave. I attached this part on there as well. I want to see people typing in chat. I want to see your responses. And I know that I taught you to express yourselves more eloquently and use recollection, or I am not familiar with something, but I feel like people are overusing that expression. A recollection is when you learn something but you don't remember. So you can say, I don't have a clear recollection of it. If you just really don't know, you can say, I'm sorry, I don't think I am familiar with this topic. So let's talk about the sentences in the tasks here. The first task is, read the 3 sentences below and then answer the questions. I don't have any time for that, is the first one. I ain't got no time for that, is the second one. The third one, unfortunately, that will not fit into my schedule at this time. So first, second, or third, which one of those is the most informal? Please type in chat. Is it the first, the second, or the third? I don't have any time for that is the first. I ain't got no time for that is the second. Unfortunately, that will not fit into my schedule at this time, is the third. One of them is the most formal, one of them is the most informal. Now, I want you to tell me, and you can explain it in Norwegian or in English. If you explain it in Norwegian and you explain it perfectly, I'm still able to read what you wrote. I have a very thick accent in Norwegian. I sometimes make some mistakes, but I'm still proficient at it. So you can go ahead and write in Norwegian if you need to. I would prefer that you wrote in English, because I know everyone in Norway, when they are in the 11th grade, they're able to express themselves in English. I want you to explain why the sentence that you found as the most informal is informal. What is informal about it? I'm going to give you about a minute to write that. I want explanations, and I want everybody to take the time to actually put that there. I want to see explanations. Why is the sentence that I think is the most informal, why is it the most informal? What's informal about it? And even if you can't see what I put as the background here, even if you can't read it, it doesn't matter because I put it under uppgave. Uppgave. It says assignments when they translate it into English. I like the word uppgave. I expect you all to have picked the correct sentence as the most informal and the most formal for the simple fact that you know enough English that you would be able to point that out. So I'm expecting everybody to have picked the sentence, "I ain't got no time for that," as the most informal. I don't know if you know exactly what's informal about the sentence. I have a feeling that everybody knows there is something informal in it because you listen to music, you watch TikToks, you watch a lot more TikToks than I would like you to. Some people say, hey, I don't even have TikTok. Yeah, I know. It's a precious few that don't have TikTok. But I know that you will have come across the term. This term, I'm sure that you will have come across it. I'm going to make it bigger so you can see. Notice the squiggly line under it. There is a squiggly line under it. That squiggly red line, annoying squiggly red line, is under it for a reason. All of you picked that, well, I'm assuming that all of you picked the sentence that has that word as the sentence that's the most informal. Why? What is this here? Ain't. Please type in chat right now. What is this? I'm going to give you a good 20 minutes. No, not 20 minutes, 20 seconds. So that you can write ain't, is, ta 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 ta, ta ta ta. And if you don't know what it is, do not say I don't have a clear recollection of it. Because to have a recollection of something, it means that you've learned, but you forgot. And if you just don't know what it is, it means that you're not familiar with that expression. And that is okay, because that's why you take English. You take English classes, you take EFL, English as a foreign language, so that you can learn. So we'll see. Now to my explanation. Have you ever heard of AAVE? I want to see yes or no in chat. And if you type yes, type what it is. Do not look it up on ChatGPT before you answer it, because that means that you're cheating. And that means that you didn't know. Let's be honest with ourselves, because there's going to be a point in your lives where you're going to have to show your knowledge, and you're not even going to be able to use any platform. So let me fix this. I don't want to follow the cursor. I want the full screen. There we go. African American Vernacular English. So now I'm going to ask a question of you. And I expect eloquent answers. I expect good answers, because everyone is capable of it. What do you call the difference between the Norwegian language spoken in Selbu and the Norwegian language spoken in Trondheim? What is different about it? Please type in chat. With one word or two, you can answer it. People don't speak the same type of Norwegian in Selbu that they do in Trondheim. Oh, but I was born in Trondheim. My whole family's from Trondheim, and I grew up there. So I'm all right. I hear you. I hear you. But a person that grew up in Trondheim and a person that grew up in Selbu, do they speak differently? And what is it? What is it that's different? Just go ahead and type away. You should be able to answer it. Those of you that said the dialect of the Norwegian language spoken in Selbu is different from the one spoken elsewhere, or anything that's similar to what I just wrote. Dialect. That's the key. African American Vernacular English is English. It's valid. It's valid as a form of English. African American Vernacular English is what the black people in the United States, not every black person uses it, But in certain areas of the United States where there is a concentration of more black people, there is African American vernacular English. They use different words for different nouns. They use ain't. They also pronounce some words differently, which is different from a dialect. So, dialect, different accent and words. So, a dialect is different, not just because the pronunciation of the words is different. The pronunciation, right, which is the accent, is different. But for something to be a dialect, you must have different vocabulary as well. The pronunciation of certain words, I'm not going to go too much into it, not too much, but the word ask, right? If I say, I asked them to go with me. I asked, right? You hear it, you hear how I pronounce it. Oh, but you're black, so you probably use African American vernacular English. No, I don't, because I didn't grow up in a neighborhood where everybody was black, where everybody spoke African American vernacular English. That's the reason why I don't use it. I didn't grow up with it. So I don't say asked. When I say the word asked, I say asked, right? Some people make fun of black people for pronouncing it that way. And like I said, it's not everybody, right? It's not everybody. It's usually neighborhoods, areas where people concentrate. And the origination, no, I asked them to go, not to come with me. I asked them to go. Anyway, the origins of African American vernacular English date back to slavery, where if you think about people who have a secret language and they want to communicate so that they won't be understood by the enemy, let's put it that way. That's one of the possible origins of it. And if you have noticed that a lot of white people also use ain't, it's because the language has evolved throughout the years. And now, I'm going to say in the 90s, hip hop and rap became a thing where everybody was listening to it, everybody was singing it. So African American vernacular English became more widely used everywhere. Is it wrong to use ain't? We can go back to what's linguistically acceptable, and I think I've talked a lot about this with you all. Linguistically or grammatically acceptable language. If you write a paper for school, would you use linguistically acceptable language even if it weren't grammatically correct? Or would you just stick to grammatically correct? Type in chat. If you wrote a text for school, a term paper, one of those 5-paragraph essays that I'm always assigning, and people are like, no, not another one. Would you use language that is linguistically acceptable, even if it weren't grammatically correct, or would you prefer to use grammatically? Just write in chat. Remember, I'm going to watch back and I'm going to track everybody that wrote. So, you've been my students, some of you in both Spanish and English for the past almost 2 years. Those of you who have been my students in English this school year, I have talked about linguistically correct, grammatically correct. So it is linguistically correct to say, I ain't got time for this. It's linguistically correct because when I say I ain't got time for this, you understand that I'm saying to you, I don't have time. So it's linguistically acceptable because it promoted communication. That's what linguistically acceptable is. Whatever you say that promotes communication is linguistically acceptable. It's correct. However, when you write a text for school, you must abide by the rules, grammar rules, and you must use eloquent academic vocabulary. So you should stick to grammatically correct. Nevertheless, this does not mean that it's wrong to use African American vernacular English, that it is unacceptable. It is not anything that should be invalidated. It is valid. But there's a time and a place for everything. And whenever we talk about term papers, academic papers, everything that you're going to hand in to me has to be grammatical with grammatically acceptable language, and you should raise the bar to where you want to use the most academic language possible. Notwithstanding those facts, I will say it one more time. Linguistically, any type of language, broken English, any accent, any dialect is correct as long as you're able to communicate. So if you have to put these three in order, the most formal one would be, unfortunately, that will not fit into my schedule at this time. And the most informal will be, I ain't got no time for that. You notice here the double negative, right? The double negative is also part of that vernacular. Now I'm going to give you 2 sentences. I don't have anything to say. Which one of these sentences is the most appropriate? The first one or the second one? Please type in chat. Everybody must type in chat. If you don't type in chat, I don't know that you're here, you're not participating. If you have a Gmail account, you can get a YouTube account. It's not a problem. You don't have to have a channel. You don't have to post pictures or videos of yourself. You can just make a username to type in here. It's not difficult. You can use your phone, you can use your iPad, you can use your computer. It's very easy. Type in chat so I know. The most appropriate one is the first one. And I'm sure the big giveaway is the blue line here, right? I don't have anything to say. So when you have a negative of any sort, she didn't do, Is it nothing or anything? Type in chat. She didn't do. Is it nothing or anything? Which one? Nothing or anything? Please write it. Is it nothing or anything? Anything or nothing? Anything, anything is the correct word. Whenever you have a negative, didn't, doesn't, didn't, wasn't, you are going to use the any form. For example, in a question, it is also the same. Is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything? Are there any books available? So whenever you have a negative or an interrogative, interrogatives are questions. Interrogative. Think of interrogation. Those of you who watch a lot of true crime, you know what an interrogation is when they ask a lot of questions of a suspect. So now that we have been talking about this for about a half hour, I'm gonna change activities. And we're going to change activities to something that everybody is very familiar with. We're going to do a Quizlet Live. You have watched the episode of Seinfeld that we watched last week, and we talked about ethnic stores, millennium parties. We talked about the culture of baseball. And I know I talked to some of you about it, and you weren't able to tell me where baseball played a part in that episode. But baseball played a big part in that episode. You had one character that worked for a baseball team, and he was trying to get a job at another baseball team. You might remember what the baseball teams were that were mentioned. Baseball is a big part of the culture in the US. So I am going to put the code in the chat box, and as soon as I have more than 75% of the people in there, I'm going to start it. I'm going to use, and here's the deal, I think it's important that you understand every activity that I do has an educational purpose to it. So I understand that some people had complaints and they couldn't understand why I was using Gardic Phone, why I was using Quizlet Live, why I was using in the interviews for international educational purposes. And some people weren't able to realize how important these activities were. So, but some of you really were able to see the importance of the activities. That made me really happy when I was correcting the midterms. I noticed that some people even mentioned Leighton Benta and Christy Botanto, and they understood the importance of the interviews. That made me really happy. That made me realize that even though some people don't see the importance of what I did with the interviews, some people do. And I'm happy that it wasn't in vain, that people were able to see. So We may have already started the Quizlet while I'm yapping here. This is being broadcast live, and I am in the chat live with you. I actually watched this a few times. It is not easy to conduct these classes online because I end up having to do the same job 3 times. When I record it, and then when I play with you all. So, but it doesn't matter because everyone's probably doing it right now. We're going to have 3 rounds. 3 rounds. And after that, you're going to do the writing. Okay, everybody, so I'll see you all sometime tomorrow. But those of you who are doing the oral exam, I'll see you all in a video chat on Teams. You will receive a link from me shortly. Feel free to take a 5-minute break. The rest of you, please work on the writing assignment. There is a link. Open uppgifter and do it.